All right, ladies and gentlemen, Hank is not doing well. Because of that, I am taking tomorrow off officially. And if I make it through the day here, it'll be quite a miracle. So I'm already leaving 8th. So I'm leaving right after 7th. So my world's entirely on fire. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am laying out your writing week. And if you do not take it seriously from the moment I assign it, you are going to die a painful death, drowning in your own words. Is everyone clear on that? If you start taking it seriously today, you'll be fine. Okay? I'm laying it out there. I'm going to put it all out there so you know exactly what to do. So if you start crossing things off, you'll be fine. Okay? If you wait to the day before these essays are due, you're going to die. A painful death of you drowning in your own words. And that would suck. So don't. Is everyone clear on that? I am going to go through the prompts and your rubrics today so you know exactly what to do. I'm going to lay out for the rest of the week exactly what your assignments are. Is everyone clear on that? Okay? It is your responsibility starting tonight. You need to start writing and planning tonight. You have nothing due until Monday, but it's a lot on Monday. And there's even more on Tuesday. And I know it's SAT day and you're not planning on coming on Wednesday. They're still due on Wednesday. You can submit it online. But I have writing week for a full week, yeah? And when does the week end? Wednesday. So guess when we write till? Wednesday. So now, if you get it done ahead of time, then you can submit them ahead of time and be done with it. So this is completely on your control. Is everyone clear on that? Usually during writing week, I'm controlling everything and I distribute very slowly, yes? Because I'm trying to fix things as we're going. I can't do that because I'm not here. So, with that being said, this is completely on your control. So when your mama calls me on Tuesday saying that I've ruined your life and that there's no way you can possibly go on, I am going to send them this video that is recorded at 9:29 on Thursday, the day World War III began, in case you didn't notice. Ukraine was invaded this morning. I'm just kidding about the World War III Commons parents, sort of. With that being said, I'm going to send them this video and say, I've laid it out for them. They refuse to do it. It is their death on their hands. Yes? Okay. What, Abby?
Oh, if we're submitting them online, are you grading them?
Yes, yes.
Oh, no.
So, you can turn them in ahead of time and put them in the box. Or, see, I haven't seen what the schedule says for Wednesday of next week. So, I don't know if I'm grading them all, if I'm going to go through and hand score. I haven't seen it. Everything in my world is on fire. But I have a week to do writing week, and my week ends on Wednesday. So if you're not going to be here Wednesday, do you live your life? I'm living mine, and I teach all the way through the week, yes? So you do you. I would plan ahead if you're not planning to be here Wednesday so you can live your best guilt-free life and lie by that pool like a boss, yes? So hustle hard, get it done. Keep in mind, you have a weekend in here to get this work done, yes? So if you plan accordingly, you should be okay. What? Dude, I'm laying out exactly what your essays are. So if you like hustle like a crazy person in the next 2 days, you can knock them out for the whole week. Ben Jackson, you are not doing that.
Oh, I don't.
Okay, as long as we're all on the same page, that we all have the same expectation that you will not be hustling hard like that, Ben, we're good. Okay, so is everyone clear on the expectations? Yeah. You are getting all of your assignments today because I'm definitely not going to be here tomorrow. Absolutely not. Things are not going well at home. So, with that being said, your assignment for tomorrow is already on the board. You have plenty of essays to plan and write, so do it. Know your due dates. I would start at the beginning and work through, yes? Your first essays are due on Monday. You have a bunch due on Tuesday. You have a bunch due on Wednesday. So I would start working on Monday, work through Tuesday, work through Wednesday. I mean, if I have to tell you that and that's surprising, that's shocking. So pay attention to your due dates. You can work in pairs tomorrow with the planning of the essays, but the essays should be unique, yes? one person writing an essay and 2 of you turning it in, I will catch it and I will light your world on fire. Yes? Things are not going well for me. You don't want to push me, yeah? Perfect. Okay. So, take out your rubrics. Let's talk DBQ right now, please. Okay. This is your DBQ. Have it out in front of you. It is due, ladies and gentlemen, on 2/28. That is Monday. Okay? 2/28. That is Monday. I think you should also know it's 50 points. What's the biggest essay you write in AP World? Which one's worth the most points? Which one is worth more on the actual essay on May 12th? So this one is going to be worth 50 points. So please know, yes, it is a test grade. Okay? So, is everyone clear on what day your DBQ is due? Okay. So, if I was you, this is the essay I would start. Okay. Let's go. Let's go to, on the top of your 2 other prompts, ladies and gentlemen, it very clearly says SAQs and LEQs. Okay? You need to make sure you are paying attention. Because I'm just writing LEQ number 3, SAQ number 1, number 2, whatever. You need to be paying attention. Because an LEQ is worth 14 points, and an SAQ is worth 8 points. Do we see the difference? Okay? Now, you need to be making sure you are paying attention to what form you're pulling from. Okay, here we go. So, let's look at SAQs. So we're on the SAQ, it's the one with the picture. Your first one, SAQ number 1, okay, so let's just make sure everyone understands how the numbering goes. This is SAQ number 1 because it's the first one. See how we did that? So this is the second one, so this is SAQ number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes? Now, I want you to know, I'm going to go through all the dates in a second. If you didn't get them, that's totally fine because that's not what I was doing right there. I want you to see how we're going through the numbering so everyone is explicitly clear. You are writing every single SAQ. Every single SAQ will be written. Your SAQ should take you 15 minutes. So if you're giving me a dramatic response to writing an SAQ, things aren't going well for you. And I have very little tolerance for it. So your SAQ should take you about 15 minutes to write. So keep that in mind. Your first one is due on 3/1. Okay, flip it. Number 2 is also due on 3/1, which happens to be Tuesday, by the way. Number 3 is also on 3/1. So 1, 2, and 3 are all due. Okay, so what is happening is number 1, 2, 3. Number 4 is due on 2/28. Okay, this is actually 2, not 3. Okay, what's 3/2? Yeah, 3/3 is Thursday. You don't want to be doing this till Thursday, do you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. SAQ number 5 is on 3/2. SAQ number 6 is due on Monday. So how many SAQs do you have on Monday? 2. You have 2 SAQs on Monday. I'm going to rewrite this so it'll be prettier for you tomorrow. But what?
Do you want these all on different pieces of paper? Each SAQ.
Okay. For your SAQs, please listen very carefully. Thank you, Alice, for asking this question. When they're due on a day, so for instance, on Monday, you have 2 SAQs, right? You have number 4 and number 6. They can be on the same piece of paper. Is everyone clear on that? On Tuesday, you have 3 SAQs. Those can all be on the same piece of paper. Does that make sense? So pay attention. Know your due dates. Yes? Is everyone clear on that? So if you want to chunk them up like that, that's totally fine. Okay? Now, where is my number 5? 5 is going on 3/2. Okay? So, SAQ number 5. So you only have 1 due on Wednesday for SAQs. Okay, so DBQ is due on Monday. All of your SAQs have been planned for the week. Is everyone clear on SAQs? You are more than welcome to group your SAQs on one piece of paper per day. If you want to write them all out on individual papers, do you, whatever makes you happy. Okay, I will be posting this when I rewrite it nice and clear and prettier on Canvas, so everything is there for you. DBQ, SAQ, everyone clear? Okay. LAQ, let's do it. You need to be making sure you are paying attention to the heading of your papers. Okay? You are only writing 4 of the LAQs. Now, it's not that bad actually. And I was very generous with my prompts. And I didn't pick the hardest ones. Okay. LAQ number 1 is due on 3/2. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to redo it. LAQ number 3 is due on 2/8. 2/28. Idiot. Okay. LAQ 3, 4, and 5. LAQ number 5 is due on Tuesday. Yeah. 3/1 is 5. And then you have 2 LAQs due on, no, I'm going to change the bottom one to 3/2. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. LAQ number 8 is due on 3/2. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to rewrite this and make it nice and pretty. So Katie, retake this photo. You took a photo of my board. You're going to have to retake it now that we're all done. Okay, so I said I was going to have 4 LAQs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Now, let's get to what you really care about. Those are all the essays you have. Now, let's just be completely pragmatic with one another. I can't grade all of those in class together with you, can I? I can't. Guess which one we're absolutely grading for correctness? So I'm going to put a nice little box around it because, ladies and gentlemen, that is the most important one. And you know for a fact we are grading it for accuracy. There you go. So it is important for you to understand. I can't check all of these for correctness. So there's a little bit of a gamble, friends. So for every day that comes in, I'm probably going to successfully grade 2. Maybe 3, depending. Especially the short answer questions. Which ones are easier to grade? I can grade more of those. Does that make sense? So maybe that day my LAQ I won't be scoring as accurate. Now, you will be turning in every single one of them. So if I am not grading LAQ number 3, if you wrote it, you get the 14 points. Is everyone clear on that? You are not wasting your time writing these essays. You are getting points for these essays. But if I'm not going to hand score them in class, you're just going to get the points if you write them. If you don't write them, are you getting the points? Hell no. However, I won't know if it's 100% accurate. Does that make sense? So there's a gamble here and a little bit of a play if you're trying to con the system. I see Wesley's little gears churning over there. So with that being said, I am fully aware that I cannot grade all of these essays coming in every single day. I am absolutely aware. But I will absolutely, without a doubt, be grading the DBQ for 50 points. You know that's coming. Okay? So, if I don't score the SAQ, everyone's getting points if you write the SAQ. Does that make sense? You get full points. There's no punishment. For the ones we score, you will actually earn the points you actually earned. Is everyone clear? Everything you're writing this week is getting points. Whether it's full points because it's completion and you did it, or you actually earn it because we scored it. Is everyone clear on that? Matt? Yeah, we have to. Yeah, we have to. So we're going to use the rubric that I'm going to go through here in a second, which I'm going to go through to make sure everyone is on the same page of what these rubrics are, because we haven't ran an SAQ in like an obscene amount of time. So that's what the rest of the class is going to be. But yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, is everyone explicitly clear on what is happening for the rest of the week? Now, I will tell you, it's really not that bad. It's not that bad.
This is like on the primaries. We're like,
Guys, your SAQs, you should be writing all of them in 15 minutes. If you can write them in 15 minutes, like...
We don't like remember some of these.
No, I know. Well, no, it's all on Cold War stuff.
I thought we were
It's all in recent stuff. It's pretty close. Or it's imperialism, which leads to... So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go through the rubrics here in a second, so I would take out a piece of paper so you can make some quick shorthand notes. You're more than welcome to have your phone out on your desk, because I'll be showing you the rubrics I have. You are more than welcome to do both of those things. However, I hope that you see, if you don't start working, you are screwed, yes? I cannot stress enough that if you do not start working tonight, you are going to drown. And if you wait until the weekend, you're in big trouble, because these essays are going to come quick and they're going to come fast. And I know a lot of you, raise your hand if you're not planning to be here on Wednesday. That's totally fine. I'm not personally offended. I would get these essays in and be done, so you can actually enjoy your day, because there's nothing worse than knowing you're missing a bunch of stuff. Katie.
Are the essays due at 8:30, like on those days? Like if we're trying to do online?
So here is what I'm trying to work with, Katie. The only day that I will accept online essays is on Wednesday.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like 8:30 or later on.
No, it would be 8:30. If it's on Wednesday, it would be an 8:30 deadline. So that means you got to get it done. Okay, everything else I'm expecting in class, because we grade things in class. The only reason I'm accepting it Wednesday online is because 90% of you aren't going to be here, which I'm not mad about. However, shit needs to get done, and we're in writing week, and the exam is coming like super fast. We're less than 80 days, people. Yeah, we're like at 74 days. That's including weekends, friend. So I don't know about you, but that's not. What, Ben?
we are like, not this sounds stupid, but like for the old like rubrics that you gave us.
Yeah, you should be referencing them.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm just going to do a quick little crash course going through them. Ladies and gentlemen, on the top of your blank sheet of paper for today's notes, you should be writing week 6 and week 11 are your previous writing weeks for SAQ and LEQ. Those are the 2 weeks that I would really reference. Week 18 is your DBQ week. So if you've been organizing your notebook in the weeks that we've been doing things, it should all be there. 6, 11, and 18 are your writing weeks. It's also on your scope and sequence, but apparently you people don't look at it. Okay, so Wednesday is the only day I accept online. Everything else needs to be turned in person, which means you have till my class period to turn it in, which is a benefit. Can we agree? Okay, so tonight, if I was you, I would knock out LAQ number 3 and SAQ number 4 and 6. These aren't too bad. I would knock them out. If you're just going to knock out something, maybe knock out your SAQs. Just start going and start knocking them out. Okay? You got to work tonight for sure. Tomorrow in class, you'd be a complete moron not to use the 47 minutes and get ahead. Tomorrow in class, I would be working on the DBQ. I'd be sitting there annotating your documents with someone next to you and starting to really go through and use that time wisely. Okay? Or talk to someone tonight and have do your DBQ documents tonight, and then sit in class tomorrow and plan your groups. Because keep in mind, if your groups don't work, 0. So, honestly, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I would work on my DBQ. Yeah, I would. I would sit there and do my documents. So tomorrow I could have a coherent, intelligent conversation with a peer, plan out my essay. And after I do my documents, if it didn't take me that long, I would sit there and start working on my SAQs. That's what I would do. I would do everything today. You would die. Tonight, you got to work hard. I would spend at least an hour working on writing week stuff. Absolutely, without a doubt. At least. Tomorrow, hell no. After school, don't think about me. I ain't thinking about you. I got a sick baby. I got shit to do. Saturday or Sunday, whatever your working day is, I would spend a couple hours and just knock out as much as you can and just keep moving forward. Anytime you got a couple minutes in class, I would start planning an essay. That's what I would do. That's the work. That's the due dates. Make it work. Wesley.
Can you go back to the LEQs?
You mean the ones that are on my board?
No, the back page. That's number 6. Are we
3-2,
3-2?
which is Wednesday. Okay. Guys, this is what we would have been doing. We're just now having it all very clearly in front of you, except we would have had 2 or 3 essays due tomorrow. You would have been writing a bunch of SAQs today for homework. Huh? Yeah, we have 3 more weeks of content. What?
It's number 8 for Wednesday, right? Not number 6.
Yeah, number 8. Look at the board.
Oh, because I asked about number 6. Because I thought
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, there's no 6.
Oh, sorry.
It's probably like the marker that bled through.
Yeah, it's the marker that bled through. So I'm going to make it cleaner. That'll be beautiful, and I'll post it on Canvas this afternoon during 4. Okay, tonight you got to work. You got to work. If you can really carry a lot of weight tonight, I would absolutely do it and make your quality of life better later. Grind, get them done. Tomorrow, I wouldn't do shit after school. In class, I would really focus on planning out that DBQ with a buddy and knock that out. That would be my priority number 1 because you guys do struggle with the groupings. On Saturday or Sunday, I would whatever day you work, my day is Sunday. I don't think about you people on Saturdays. On Sunday, I would just sit there and work. I would knock out as many of them as possible. So, and every night, I would focus on writing an LAQ, and then you're good. Yay! Let's talk about things we haven't talked about in a long time. Here we go. SAQs. This is the rubric. Why? Why does he do this to me? Hello, this is your SAQ rubric. Now, this is the basic formatting, ladies and gentlemen, because keep in mind, every SAQ varies, yes? Hello? So they'll be specifically curtailed to the actual essay, but the basic format is you have a topic sentence. And when you have a topic sentence, what do you have to do? Restate the prompt. Okay, these are the easiest 2 points, and say whatever you need to say. So, if the question says, what country started World War III? You would say, in 2022, Russia's invasion of Ukraine on February, 24th, 2022, is the official start of World War III. Just kidding. But it's so topical. How can we not reference it? Katie? Okay, that's specifically to the component, and I'm going to get there. Okay? So, correctly identify the historical situation. They're always kind of vague. They're always kind of varied. Correctly identify is whatever they're asking about. So let's quickly look at one of the SAQs. Identify one way in which the event depicted in the image reflects political changes in the global balance of power. Okay? So, when you're looking at this picture, it's a British guy talking to the Mughal emperor. Okay? So, immediately what should you be thinking of? Hello, what global balance of power in the 18th century is this? Colonialism, imperialism would score. That's what we're talking about. Correctly identify the historical situation. You should write that down because you'd be an idiot not to. Okay. Then you have to defend it with some sort of information reading the prompt. You have to understand SAQs vary. So everyone is a little bit different. You have to be flexible, but this is the basic formatting. Is everyone clear on it? You restate the prompt, you answer whatever they ask you, whatever the question is, you answer it, and then you provide historical evidence that's not included. Okay? That's what evidence is. It is evidence or information that is not included in the prompt that you know that is relevant to the prompt. If you start talking, this is about the Mughal Empire, so if you start talking spheres of influence, it's wrong. Because there's nothing to do with the Mughal Empire, yes? There's tons of things that you could refer to, of course, but you got to make sure it ties back to it, okay? The analysis. This is where you're going to struggle, and this is where you should be writing the most things down. Excuse me. The analysis is pulling the information together in a persuasive manner that fully answers the question. So, identify one way in which the event depicted in the image reflects political changes in the global balance of power in the 18th century. Do not write this down because it's not following the format, but I want you to hear the analysis. You can take notes on my answer, but this isn't a complete answer because I'm focusing on the analysis. Is everyone clear on that? And I'm trying to move to my next one. With that being said, the analysis of the political would be talking about British imperialism in India and the exploitation of the workers in order to benefit British industrial power. Okay? The reason why imperialism begins is because of the needs for markets and materials in order to keep the factories going in Europe. These needs are going to require the British to depend on colonies. The most important colony for the British is India. It becomes known as the jewel in the crown. That would be a lovely piece of evidence, yes? Keep in mind, your evidence can be embedded in the analysis. If you do it well, you should be able to do it in 3 sentences. Your analysis and your evidence can all be kind of blended together, but you need to have a topic statement where you restate the prompt and answer the question. Then you're going to go through and explain it. A good answer is someone who knows what they're talking about can do it in 3 sentences really clear. If you're kind of struggling, you should be doing it in 4. If you're writing 5, you're doing it wrong. You're making your life really hard and complicated for no reason. It's either because you have no idea what you're talking about or you like wasting your time. And that's dumb too. Okay? So, do you understand what I was talking about with the analysis? Yes? The reason why the British are taking over India for political gain is because they need it. Okay? All right. What?
Wouldn't that be more economic though? Because they're doing it to
Well then, because I just looked down, that would be a good economic one, but you saw how I laid it out. For political, it would not work out well for political. You're completely correct. However, I do have an answer, but I've already given you 1 out of the 3, so we're good. But that's the type of analysis that we're looking for where you can throw in. Abby.
So for the second one, on the rubric it says correctly identify historical situation. Is that for all of them, even though I say like explain?
Yeah, it's the basic format. Because keep in mind, Abby, which I already said, every single question is different. So if we look at the different rubrics, see? Topic sentence, correctly identify influence of disease on urban areas. Provide evidence, analysis. What I'm telling you is the basic formatting. You have a topic sentence, you have to identify whatever it is they're asking you, you have to provide evidence, and then you have to provide analysis. We're doing basic formatting here, Abby. So it is going to be different for every single one. Some have 3, some have 2, some have 4. So everything is a little bit different. But every subsection is essentially 4 points. Okay? So it varies per question. This is the most varied of all of your rubrics because all the questions are inconsistent in their length and their focus. Questions? Everyone okay on SAQs? Okay. You need to answer all parts of the question. You get that, right? You have to answer A, B, and C in order to get points. Perfect. Let's go to LEQ. Okay, I would take a picture. I'll do the top part, and then I will, there you go. I'm letting you get the bottom. Ugh. Okay. This is your LEQ. Your LEQ is a lot more structured and a lot less varied than the SAQs. So the formatting is pretty much going to be the same. But the wording of the prompts is different. The most important thing that you should write down right now, because I looked at all your prompts with LEQ, the SAQs, like, you know at this point, you either know the answer or you don't, yeah? For an LEQ, you can kind of BS your way in the back door and score some points. SAQ, there's no way you're doing that. I would write down that you need to understand these terminology in order to answer some of your questions. When we talk about continuity, if it says continuity, it means what is something that has been consistent throughout the entire date range. When we're looking at the LEQs, ladies and gentlemen, for instance, because you have one that's continuity and change. Maybe not. Maybe I didn't give it to you. Okay? If you're talking about continuities, it means it goes throughout the whole component. Okay? If it's a change, it's something that happens for the first time during it. So a change means it's new. So what is a change that happened 1900 to present day? What's something new? Shifting of balance of power? Sure. What does that mean? Perfect. That's a great example. That's a brand new thing that happens in 1900. A continuity from 1900 to present day is what? Huh? Well, yeah, but what would be an example of a continuity? Victoria? No, because that doesn't start until 1947, the two-state system, so that would be a change. Which one's easier to come up with, continuities or changes? Changes are easy, continuities are hard. You got to make sure it starts before the period and goes through it. So a continuity of 1900 and on would be the economic importance of the Suez Canal. It's only gotten more important since then, yes? So that would be a continuity because it's built in 1846 and it starts before 1900 and it's still being used today, so it's a continuity. Do we understand the differences between the two? Perfect. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, friendly reminder, your LEQ should be 3 paragraphs, yeah? You should have your thesis and your contextualization is in 1, and then you should have 2 body paragraphs, yes? Okay, so it's a total of 3. Do you need to write a conclusion? No, don't write a conclusion. You don't have time on the actual day. Don't waste your time. Okay? Now, I do want to show you one of the prompts at least. Oh, you do have a continuities and changes. I knew it. Okay, so your first one is continuities, major continuities and changes in the formation of national identities. Okay, so make sure you are paying attention. What's a continuity? What's a change? Make sure you understand. Okay, a lot of your LEQ essays are really going to be develop an argument that evaluates the extent to which. What does that mean? You are talking about the impact of certain events. That's what it ties back to. So, develop an argument that evaluates the extent to which global conflicts led to cultural or social changes during this period. This is Cold War. So, if we're talking about an extent to which global conflicts led to cultural or social changes, I would write about the Warsaw Pact nations, yes? And what is an easy example of a Warsaw Pact nation that is affecting cultural or social changes? You can't just say Poland, people. What is a specific example of a rebellion that is happening that you can cite as evidence? Explain it, connect it. Jackson.
Or Prague Spring.
Prague Spring is a great example that's going to cause cultural change. It is going to be the oppression. Your evidence for Prague Spring should be the Brezhnev Doctrine, yes? Okay, all of those things is what you're kind of looking at. So when we're looking at the extent, you're looking at the big picture. Big picture. How does one country affect another? Czechoslovakia's Prague Spring is going to inspire eventually the collapse of all Warsaw nations. That would be the extent of. What do you got?
So do we pick cultural or social? Like we pick
I would do one of each. I would do, yeah. I would do a cultural and I would do a social. Okay? And if you can, I would do one that's positive. It's Cold War, so one that's anti-Russia and one that's pro-Russia. If you're doing a pro-Russia one that's social, which could you do? What is one good thing socially about the communist government? What do you got, Abby?
Can you say Gorbachev's reforms?
Well, that's going to cause the decline.
But it's
And that's
positive
capitalism.
socially.
No, it's not. That's economic.
No,
Glasnost?
it's Glasnost.
It's about opening up the economy to a degree, and that's more political than it would be social. It's
Glasnost
social.
is about freedom of speech.
Yes, but it's about the political oppression that people are feeling. It's not considered social. It's political. Ben.
I don't know if this like how it
Okay.
matches up with evidence. But like the peasants are like given more like freedoms.
No, that's such a vague answer and would never score. John.
women.
Women, ladies and gentlemen, women have more rights in a communist government than they do in a capitalist government until the 1960s with the approval and a passing of the Civil Rights Act here in the United States, which is going to cause a trigger movement in the rest of the world for giving women more rights. Hello. Do you see why that answer is better, Ben?
Yes.
Because it is clearly a social thing, which is always men, women, is a perfect example, and it is easily accessible. Saying poor people, you know what I mean? It's just too big. Women in communist countries, huh?
Like what would the evidence be? Like, we don't have any like
Civil Rights Amendment here in the United States finally catches women up to what was the communist equivalent.
Did we do that because of communism?
No, we had people in the streets demanding change, and we had blacks who were treated like second-class citizens. Martin Luther King Jr., all that stuff is being pushed by it, which we have studied. Okay. How do we feel about LEQs? Okay, these ones we haven't done in like forever, I feel as well. So you need to have a thesis. Okay, you need to have two arguments that you're going for. You need to be able to rewrite the prompt, of course. You need to have contextualization, which focuses on the whole world. Okay, now in your notes, ladies and gentlemen, you have Hemmler's guides. Yes. There's the links on them. You can rewatch these videos. I would totally have the printed out worksheets in front of you while you do it, which is why I told you our writing weeks are 6, 11, and 18, so you can open up your notebooks to those sections. Look at the planning that we did as a class. You can kind of see what types of things you need. There is plenty of resources for you. Okay? When you get to your paragraphs, very similar to your DBQ, which is why you should be kind of okay on these. Topic sentence with the evidence, explain how the evidence ties back to the prompt. You need to put a big star, ladies and gentlemen. For DBQ and thesis, you will lose all of your points because you don't tie it to the... That's what you really need to focus on. If I was going to give you one hint to save you as many points as possible, it would be to tie it to the prompt. Tie it to the prompt. And we're going to get to the DBQ. It's the same thing because both of them are thesis-based, which means you have to have that prompt.
Wait, the LEQ and the
Yes, they're both thesis.
not the SAQ then?
No, those are not thesis. Those are literally straight answer questions. Okay. You need to have evidence. You need to tie everything back to the prompt. So, your LEQs are here. How much longer do I got? 5 minutes? Okay, so let's talk DBQ. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to listen to me very carefully. The best thing that you should do is you should get your DBQs from my box over here. number period 2. I'll try finding them today throughout the day and pull them out. Tomorrow when you come in, I would grab your DBQ. Whether you did well on it or terrible on it, I would absolutely have it in front of you so you don't make the same mistakes again, yes? Okay, I'm talking about the one that we scored on this rubric, yes? The other ones are in there are fine, but those we're building to this rubric because this is the rubric we are using as we go through. Is everyone clear on that? So, whether you come back during lunch today and find your DBQ, maybe I'll even end a minute or two early so you can go diving for your DBQ. That is totally fine. However, I would totally get your DBQ out so you have it and you can reference it while you're home and seeing what you got points on and what you lost points on. Is everyone clear on that hint? Okay. This is the DBQ rubric. It's the same exact one that is stapled to the DBQ that I'm referring to that you should pick up. Okay, you have a thesis. Keep in mind, on this rubric, are there easy points to score? Of course there are. Of course there are. So, you got to make sure you get the dumb points, yes? Okay, thesis. Contextualization. Remember, contextualization is explaining why these events are happening. If your thesis, if your LEQ or DBQ, because both of them are thesis, are talking about imperialism, your contextualization should be industrialization. Because if industrialization never happened, imperialism wouldn't have happened. Those are the types of connections we're looking for when we're talking about contextualization. If it's a thesis on the Cold War, your contextualization should probably be on World War II. Do you see what we're doing here? What event is causing these events to occur? That's what contextualization is. Remember, you do need to use all of your documents. Now, you only need to use 3 of them successfully for your happies, for your annotations. Okay? But you need to argue all 6 of them. Is everyone clear on that? You need to mention every document, but you only have to say the audience, the point of view, the whatever, historical perspective, any of that shit, okay? So you only need 3 of those, but you need to talk about all 6. You need to have evidence beyond the documents, 1 per paragraph. You should have 3 groups. You should have 3 content paragraphs, okay? You need to make sure the evidence makes connections. Guys, I will have most. If your DBQ is not in the pile I pull for first, you just got to go digging into the box. Does that make sense? So I'm going to try to help everyone out by finding them. If it's not there, you either have it or it's in the box. Go.